Oak Island's mystery never ceases to astound us. But what precisely? Let's find out. John Stemmer supports the official Quest of Oak Island website, where you can read a fascinating article about this region. Laird, the expert, believes the ring of stones they discovered could be the foundation of a circular structure. Interesting, yes? When investigating the structure of Lot 5 in minute detail, concentric rings of stones are visible from approximately 100 feet away from the shore. An insightful contributor by the name of Barbara Kopak made an insightful point. She hypothesized that this structure was a kiln, possibly a lime kiln. Its design resembles an ancient Roman furnace discovered in Europe. It is important to observe that Barbara's experience as an architectural artist enabled her to make this intriguing connection. Its proximity to the shore enhances its attractiveness. John Stemmer and the Quest of Oak Island Facebook page utilized the incredible Muon drone to capture photographs. When considering the likelihood that it is a kiln, exciting possibilities emerge. Barbara Kopak's intriguing observation connects the connections, suggesting that this structure may have been a pipe-making kiln. The possibility that it was used to produce pipes piqued people's interest. Given the rumors of a flood tunnel system and the existence of a hydraulic mechanism, pipes would have been required for elevating and lowering the vault. Historiographically, the location of a kiln is crucial, typically the primary chamber. Remember how, in one of the most recent episodes of Curse of Oak Island, they made a hollow sound by striking a boulder at the bottom of the hole. They may still be required to reach the firebox area. Those fragments with the hollow sound could be protecting the fireplace after all. Currently, we are still determining how the temporary superstructure was constructed. It could have been built with rocks or something entirely distinct. However, this is not the only event that occurred at Oak Island. Astonished that the entire world. There is still more. Both the stone wall on Lot 26 and the pine tar furnace on Lot 15 contained fragments of charcoal. That indicates the presence of fire. They also discovered a piece of pottery, which provides additional insight into what the object may be. The images depict numerous kiln structures discovered by the University of York throughout Europe. They date back to the Roman era, proving that this technology is not new. Immediately, focus on the kiln on Lot 5. Observing the proximity to the water is intriguing. Regardless, let's dissect this and have some fun. First, visualize the mysterious setting in which we find ourselves. This location may be optimal for a covert operation. What if we told you a kiln could be hidden there? A kiln indeed. Consider alternative applications for this kiln before imagining a group of potters creating exquisite pottery. Our minds are racing and we are thinking about pipelines. Pipes indeed. This excellent hypothesis proposes Oak Island may contain a system of flood tunnels. What is this then? This is supported by evidence such as the valve and the cavity beneath the trapdoor. In this case, things are becoming increasingly intriguing. Perhaps intelligent infrastructure is used to construct the underground tunnels. They may be developing a hydraulic system to control the flow of water. However implausible it may seem, let's experiment with it anyway. It is prudent to use pipelines instead of open tunnels. The island's rugged terrain was only marginally suitable for tunneling. If water were to flow through certain areas, they might erode or collapse. Why then not utilize pipes to maintain a constant flow without endangering a collapse? At this point, things become even more pleasurable. Let's investigate the origins of pottery, my companion. We are discussing a technique that has existed since Roman times. Clay pipes. Before, these pipelines were formed around a wooden structure, but it was difficult to connect them seamlessly. They ingeniously employed the potter's wheel, which originated in ancient Samaria around 3500 BCE. Incredible, right? Nevertheless, there's more. We should talk about glazing. You know, the protective layer that prevents water from permeating clay and causing damage to ceramics. Roman glazing techniques were extraordinarily inventive. They utilized salt, lead, and tin, invented later, to create an impregnable, complex covering. At this point, things begin to become somewhat chaotic. A pottery instructor asserts that adding saline or ocean water to clay causes its surface to bloom. The kiln firing process produces a beautiful. Oak Island's mystery has been associated with the medieval Christian military order known as the Knights Templar for a very long time. Some individuals are under the impression that they concealed their legendary wealth on the island. and it appears that the researchers have finally solved this mystery's code. Nonetheless, the story does not end there. An additional significant discovery was made by the researchers, something with the potential to utterly transform our understanding of Oak Island and its history. Within one of the compartments, they discovered artifacts buried to a considerable depth. Not gold or gems, but ancient writings that have been meticulously preserved in airtight containers. The texts are composed in a language that has not yet been identified as the original language, a language with the potential to cast light on the mystery surrounding the Oak Island tunnels and their purpose. Currently, the researchers are working diligently to decipher the inscriptions. They are confident in their ability to uncover Oak Island's true story, a story that has been kept under wraps for centuries. Since the 18th century, treasure hunters have been concentrating their efforts on a small, forested island off the coast of Nova Scotia in Canada. The island is renowned throughout the world for its money pit, which is an enigmatic hole in the ground that is rumored to conceal incalculable wealth. Gold from pirate ships, jewels believed to have been lost by Marie Antoinette, and even the Holy Grail have all been mentioned as potential treasures that could be concealed within its depths. Over the past 2 centuries and a half, explorers from all corners of the globe have endeavored to decipher the code. They have dug, drilled, and even used explosives to gain access to the island's interior in an attempt to uncover its buried mysteries. However, despite all of their efforts, the island has managed to keep its wealth a closely guarded secret up until this point. The coin of the Templars that was discovered on Oak Island is another intriguing artifact. This development has surprised numerous specialists. Is it feasible that this information will shed light on the mysteries surrounding the illustrious Templars and the riches they concealed? If there is a treasure to be discovered on the island, it could be worth a substantial amount of money. However, locating it would also provide us with a great deal of information about the Templars' genuine influence. The possibility of unearthing something of such crucial importance has piqued the interest of numerous treasure hunters and historians located in various parts of the globe. However, even the most knowledgeable individuals are still baffled by the mystery of Oak Island. What other peculiar clues and hidden treasures could be lurking somewhere in this area? Each new discovery we make on the island provides us with additional hints that have the potential to alter how we interpret the past. Could it be possible to unearth the long-buried secret? Through Portugal, they turned their attention to the country and the Templar Knights, while looking for old structures and researching relics that might be connected to Oak Island. Together with Oak Island theorist Corjan Mall and a few local historians, Rick and Alex Lagena, Doug Crowell, and Peter Fornetti visited a number of ancient sites in Portugal. They were led to 3 distinct locations, each of which displayed mounting proof that Oak Island's history is connected in some way to that of Portugal and the Templars. In Tomar, Portugal, there is a church and Templar fortress called Convento de Cristo. It was built in the 12th century. To start their investigation, the group was brought there. Corjan was particularly intrigued by the aqueduct's drainage system, which he thought had served as inspiration for whoever created the Smith's Cove finger drains. The aqueduct drainage system was what captivated Corjan the most out of all the amazing elements that were packed into this massive structure. This link might have seemed a little tenuous, but Corjan had more details. The original church gate, now faded, bore an engraving of a cross surrounded by 4 dots. The sign found on the HO stone on Oak Island had an engraving that matched this one exactly. The HO stone was a fragment of a rock discovered on Oak Island. The boulder is thought to have formerly indicated the location of a treasure, but an accident in 1921 reportedly destroyed it. The lads also discovered another O-shaped sign with a dot in the middle, which is also depicted on the HO stone during the previous week. The group then traveled to a military history museum in Lisbon. They had replicas of the 2 little cannonballs that had been found on Oak Island, and they intended to use the museum's armory to see if they could match the cannonballs to one of the cannons there. The fact that 2 museum employees immediately confirmed that the 2 cannonballs were of Portuguese origin wasn't a surprise to the boys, because they had already heard from a chemist in a previous episode that the cannonball's composition indicated a Portuguese origin. Alex loaded the cannon with the ball once the guys had discovered the right kind of cannon in order to make sure they had the right kind of weapon. The cannon, which was first used in the 14th or 15th century, was often mounted on a ship's deck. The experts at the museum, however, claimed that the gun could be easily taken out of the ship and brought to an island. Have you already subscribed? Do this right away to learn more exciting updates on fresh discoveries made on Oak Island. Given the ongoing instability on the global stage that has existed ever since the New World was discovered, it should not be shocking that the mysterious those who appreciate witnessing the discovery of historical artifacts. The team had been anxiously awaiting progress in the excavation of the Money Pit region in the hopes of discovering the elusive treasure that has fascinated generations. Every time they dug, they awaited the next scoop or grasp with bated breath, hoping it would be the breakthrough they had been seeking. As they dug deeper, the team discovered scattered fragments of wood that formed a crucial historical puzzle. Among the dispersed remains, they discovered a large and impressive iron object that appeared to be from a bygone era, perhaps as far back as the 1700s. This fortunate discovery provided a glimmer of optimism, indicating that they were moving closer to their ultimate objective, the legendary Money Pit. However, their journey to unveil the mysteries concealed beneath the surface of the Earth took an unexpected turn. At the approximate 130-foot depth of the B4C shaft, just as they were gaining momentum, they were confronted with a shocking discovery, a formidable bedrock formation impeding their progress. This geological impediment sent shockwaves throughout the team, halting their progress and plunging them into a domain of uncertainty. The team's efforts uncovered evidence of a concealed treasure despite encountering obstacles. They dug 5 enormous shafts over the course of several months and discovered indications of its existence. As they were on the verge of disclosing a long-held secret, these discoveries inspired renewed optimism. However, pursuing the Money Pit had been an arduous and challenging endeavor for centuries. The quest was fraught with obstacles that required unwavering resolve and originality. Motivated by the possibility of acquiring a priceless treasure that had eluded countless others, the team descended into the Money Pit in search of the enigmatic treasure. The crew began a difficult mission with the knowledge that obstacles lay ahead. They actively sought out new technologies and strategies to surmount the obstacles. They pursued the treasure with great determination, expecting that their efforts would pay off. However, their journey was not solely motivated by prosperity. Oak Island's search for the Money Pit had a deeper significance. The exploration was motivated by a desire to uncover the mysterious mysteries that had captivated people for centuries. With each stage, the team delved deeper into Oak Island's complexities, driven by an insatiable desire to uncover its hidden truths. The team's unwavering dedication to resolving Oak Island's mysteries was demonstrated by their unflinching pursuit. Their unyielding determination and tenacity accentuated the noble pursuit of knowledge and discovery, resulting in an enduring tale that will form area in the swamp, because they believed it would provide important clues as to the location of the treasure. Using advanced ground-penetrating radar technology, they scanned the surface of the swamp, revealing anomalies that may indicate the presence of concealed chambers or tunnels. The ground-penetrating radar surveys uncovered a remarkable discovery: a network of interconnected tunnels beneath the swamp. The crew realized that these tunnels may hold the key to unlocking Oak Island's final secrets. The crew was filled with anticipation as they prepared to investigate these underground passages, knowing that they were on the verge of a significant discovery. With their specialized equipment and protective clothing, the team entered the recently unearthed tunnels with courage. The ambiance inside was damp and unsettling, which amplified their feelings of excitement and danger. As they progressed deeper into the complex labyrinth, they discovered shards of tools, signs of human habitation, and cryptic symbols etched into the tunnel walls. Each step brought them closer to the long-awaited revelation. After years of arduous searching, the team uncovered a secret chamber concealed deep within the tunnels. As they cautiously opened the chamber door, they were dumbfounded by what they saw. They stood there in awe as they encountered the ultimate prize they had tirelessly sought. The treasure that had evaded them for what seemed like an eternity suddenly materialized before their eyes. It was an awe-inspiring sight. A collection of dazzling jewels, each glistening in its own brilliant hue. Alongside them were antiquities that told tales of long-vanished civilizations. The containers were brimming with unfathomable riches, including gold and silver that glistened with unrivaled opulence. After years of effort, The Oak Island curse was ultimately resolved. Their perseverance and diligence paid off as they uncovered secrets that had been concealed for centuries. In that moment of victory, they felt a mixture of elation and relief, knowing that their unyielding pursuit had led to the discovery of a lifetime. Click the subscribe button if the video has piqued your interest thus far. The discovery of the treasure on Oak Island was not only a triumph for the Lagena brothers and their team, but also a demonstration of human tenacity and the enduring appeal of adventure. The treasure would provide invaluable historical insights, inspire new discoveries, and captivate the world with tales of intrigue and mystery. If you want to see more hidden treasures, view the video. Scientists announce something terrifying is happening at Oak Island. On Lot 8, in a recent episode of The Curse on... This incredible discovery has changed the game for the Oak Island crew. The sense that they are closer to answers than ever before becomes truer every day. Do you think they will discover the treasure after collecting these pieces of evidence? Let us know in the comments down below. Please do not forget to subscribe and turn notifications on so you never miss an update.
Might there be a chance here to discover the treasure once and for all? Sure. There's all of these clues that strongly suggest this area holds significant interest.
Rick Lagena has finally found a breakthrough on mysteries of the infamous Oak Island. They just found something so bizarre that proves that gold is here on this island. Did they find a hidden chest that has a map to the actual treasure? Well, in this video, we are going to find that out. Craig Tester and Steve Guptill, along with Alex Lagena and the rest of the crew, are gathered to begin the latest large-scale excavation with the hope that they will uncover the second shaft, over 100 feet deep, and built in the early days of the 18th century, believed to be only a few feet southeast of the original money pit. To do this, they will be digging up the first ever searcher shaft on Oak Island. Their current goal is to obtain some pieces of the shaft and conduct dendrochronology on it, which will be able to tell them the year this wood was formed on a tree. According to Craig, if anything will be able to tie them back to the original money pit, it would be shaft 2. The tree rings they spot on the wood will tell them when it was cut down. If they can uncover and confirm the date to around 1805, they will not only be able to locate the original money pit, but also find the source of the precious metals they have detected in the area. They excavate a big piece of wood they believe could have belonged to one of the long walls. But the question remains, does this belong to shaft 2? According to Rick Lagena, the second shaft is like the Holy Grail in terms of significance. They are closer than ever to finding the money.
They also found a patch of cement that had traces of gold and other metals, which made them think that the most rare metal in the world, osmium, would be buried somewhere in the ethereal depths of Oak Island. There is an island called Oak Island in the Canadian province of Nova Scotia. The two brothers Marty and Rick Lagena have, for all intents and purposes, dedicated their entire lives to solving Oak Island's enigma and learning its closely guarded secrets, while harboring the hope of unearthing hidden gold on the island. Despite the fact that they had previously spent many years trying very hard to uncover the island's secrets, but making very little headway in their attempts, it appears that their most recent treasure hunting expedition has really taken a fruitful turn. On Oak Island, the Lagena brothers have made a number of important discoveries recently. Some claim that these discoveries have made it possible to access the hidden wealth on Oak Island. This archaeological gem was found thanks to the use of ground-penetrating radar. It was initially thought to be a crossbow bolt, but a specialist in ancient antiquities thinks it might have been a javelin, a type of weapon used by the Romans more than 2,000 years ago. The team finds a metal object that appears to be what they have been looking for since the first episode of the show in the second episode of the 9th season. Additional inspection reveals that the piece only contains a modest amount. Aqueduct drainage system was what captivated Corjan the most out of all the amazing elements that were packed into this massive structure. This link might have seemed a little tenuous, but Corjan had more details. The original church gate, now faded, bore an engraving of a cross surrounded by 4 dots. The sign found on the HO stone on Oak Island had an engraving that matched this one exactly. The HO stone was a fragment of a rock discovered on Oak Island. The boulder is thought to have formerly indicated the location of a treasure, but an accident in 1921 reportedly destroyed it. The lads also discovered another O-shaped sign with a dot in the middle, which is also depicted on the HO stone during the previous week. The group then traveled to a military history museum in Lisbon. They had replicas of the 2 little cannonballs that had been found on Oak Island, and they intended to use the museum's armory to see if they could match the cannonballs to one of the cannons there.